Welcome to our channel. Please like and subscribe. What if a war could reshape the entire world without two sides ever officially fighting each other? No massive battlefield clashes between superpowers. No direct invasion. Yet the stakes were so high that the world came closer to destruction than ever before. This was the Cold War. And once you understand what really happened, you'll see why it almost changed everything. In this video, you're going to understand the Cold War in a simple, clear way. Not just what happened, but why it mattered so much. Let's begin. After World War II, the world was left divided. Two superpowers emerged, the United States and the Soviet Union. Both had power. Both had influence. But they had completely different ideas about how the world should work. The United States supported capitalism, private businesses, individual freedom, economic competition. The Soviet Union supported communism, state control, central planning, no private ownership. These two systems were not just different, they were opposites, and neither side trusted the other. This is where the tension began. Now here's something important. The Cold War was not a traditional war. There were no direct, large-scale battles between the US and the Soviet Union. Instead, it was a war of influence, a war of power, a war of ideas. Both sides wanted to expand their system across the world, and this led to competition everywhere. Now let's talk about one of the biggest factors: nuclear weapons. By the end of World War II, the United States had developed atomic bombs. Soon after, the Soviet Union did the same. Now both sides had the ability to destroy entire cities in seconds. This created something called mutually assured destruction. If one side attacked, the other would respond, and both would be destroyed. So instead of direct war, there was tension, constant tension. Now let's talk about how this played out. The Cold War showed up in different ways: arms races, espionage, political influence, and proxy wars. Instead of fighting each other directly, the US and Soviet Union supported different sides in conflicts around the world. Places like Korea, Vietnam, and Afghanistan. These were indirect battles, each side trying to gain control without triggering a global war. Now, one of the most dangerous moments was the Cuban Missile Crisis. The Soviet Union placed nuclear missiles in Cuba, very close to the United States. Suddenly, the threat was immediate. real. The world watched. As tension reached its peak, for days, it seemed like nuclear war was possible, but eventually both sides stepped back. A deal was made, and disaster was avoided. Now think about that. One decision could have changed everything. Now let's talk about another key part, the space race. This wasn't just about exploration, it was about proving superiority. The Soviet Union launched the first satellite, then the first human into space. The United States responded by landing on the moon. Each achievement was a message. We are more advanced. We are more powerful. Now, over time, the Cold War continued. Decades of tension, competition, and fear. But something began to change. The Soviet Union started to weaken economically, politically, structurally. And in 1991, it collapsed. The Cold War ended. Now let's simplify everything. The Cold War was a global conflict between two superpowers with different ideologies. It was fought through influence, technology, and indirect conflict, rather than direct war. And the presence of nuclear weapons kept both sides from fully engaging. Now here's why it mattered so much. Because it shaped the modern world. Global alliances, political systems, technology, even how countries interact today, all influenced by this period. Now take a moment. The Cold War was not just history. It was a constant balancing act, a world living under tension, trying to avoid catastrophe. And it worked, but just barely, because at several points, things could have gone very differently. Now, one final thought. The Cold War shows us something important. Power is not just about strength, it's about strategy, control, and restraint. Because sometimes the most important battles are the ones that never happen. And that's why the Cold War almost changed everything. That was excellent. Please like and subscribe for daily lessons. See you next time.